Thank you. It is my great honor and pleasure to welcome on the stage our distinguished speaker, our keynote speaker, Stefano Poda, truly multidisciplinary artist whose work encompasses choreography, direction, costume and set design, as well as lighting design. Tonight he's gonna speak about his vision. He's gonna present his vision of opera stage as a total work of art. Please join me in giving warm welcome to Mr. Stefano Poda.
Thank you so much. Thank you to be here. Thank you for your attention. For me, it's a big moment, very special. Thank you for the presence of this big personality of China. They follow me, and it's a big. So thank you. I'm sorry. I don't like too much talk about my work, I lot of work for don't talk. So I prefer to show the pictures, and I detest the video too, because the video is never the magic of the theater, of the opera, is something like in the church, like the museum, is about energy. So it's not possible to fix it with video and with picture, but today is so, and perhaps is so. I'm sorry. These are the names for the contracts. So don't. I did this. What are you doing? I don't know. I close the eyes. I close the eyes and I try to do something to make physical what I feel with the music. When I was child, it was difficult because the television was primitive, and it was not possible to. So I start to dream and to feel and to search another word. And the opera for me is this. So what is for me opera? Opera is something that is not real. So I don't see that the Regie Theater is, of course, a very important art to work, but for me, I prefer to go to the theater, and the spectator must be the spectator of each and the opera is the possibility to discover a parallel reality, like a meditation, like yoga, like religion, like art, like emotion. So this is what is my not opera as opera. So I prefer to start this journey with my last work. It is Ariane et Barba Bleue, Théâtre du Capitole de Toulouse, de Ducas. This video that was introducing the conference. So 2 myths, Barba Bleue Castle and Ariane Labyrinth. This was the maquette, and here you can say the delay is not possible. So sorry. So this work is my last work, and the last work is anyway, even the most important, the most synthetic, the most and technical it was a big challenge to release this labyrinth in Tool, and with this speedy, so slowly, so completely geological, I say, all was a word of the soul. The mythos is of the seven doors, you know, and and this is the labyrinth moves up and down, and this big wall, this big sculpture, was moving on the floor. It was a really huge challenge for the technical and for the. So here we can see the scene of the doors where the journey of Arianna. Arianna is doing a journey, a spiritual journey. So the story is the story of the spectator. Is not. I don't like. Talk about the story. The story is a mystery, and today all must be really real, explained without mystery. And for me, the music gives us the possibility to discover the secret of the life. So for me, the set is all the time like an installation where the artist lives and discovers this parallel world. Here you can see this LED in the floor, huge and complicated technically, because the wall were very easy and very and it was very complicated with the material, with the plexiglass, and with so it. This labyrinth, it was made with the movement, with a very complicated system of computers to give this aesthetically speedy. So in this case, my idea was a transparent world. All is white and all is transparent. All is like. And of course, what is for me the most important is the light. Just the light has not body. And just the light can and may follow at the music and the developing of the music. So for me, the light is the most delicate moment of the work in the theater. So I need a big concentration. In this work was present a big artist, Dominique Sanda, and she did a lot of pictures with Bertolucci, But it's very important for me the contamination. So for this reason, I use for the opera not just singers, not just dancers, not just, but performer and artists of all the disciplines. So for me, it's very, very important this art of contamination, of work together. And we start always with a large period of concentration, meditation, and for forgive all the system, the language, and here, for example, is visible how my obsession is all the time the ancient sculpture, the Greek sculpture, no? And in the opera, I try to give everything this memory of the baggage of this. For example, the finale is very impressive because the Barbableu wives refuse to leave the castle, and just Ariane lives alone. So this mystery of the journey and it was a really important work with all the dancers, all the singers, and all the technical people of the theater. 2 years of work in the ateliers and the workshops with the costumes, the props. For this reason, I don't feel me director, choreographer, light designer. I feel me like an artisan, like a work maker, and I try to make concrete what the music is suggesting. This is another big work of about Romeo and Juliet. NCPA, Beijing, this is a big theater with enormous technical possibility. And what is very interesting in China is the possibility to express you with total freedom, because the public is old and young, is too young and too old, and this is a dimension that I love. So, Romeo and Juliet, the most famous of the tragedy, of course, and this is the decadency of our dimension, historical, and the art. So I try the abstraction for me is the way to give the music the possibility to. And here is this obsession about infinity, about the DNA symbol. Here is the maquette, and here is the realization. Very complicated, but a good and very interesting challenge. So because it was the rationality of this system of the stair give me the possibility to make a sculpture, no? So really This is the study of the maquette, and this is the realization too. So here is, you can see, and the idea of the Romeo, this idea of the yin-yang, or I don't know, of the very easy and very, but complicated to realize. No? This idea of deed too. So here is the first scene, and I try all the time to talk to all the public, not just the specific public of the theater or the opera, but I try to set here we can see the work about on the costume. So the costume are not philological, are not historical. I don't know if modern, but all is coming from my big passion of this research on the historical costume, because I worked a lot with Tirelli in Rome on the really philological systems, and I try all the time to find a line where all the memory is present, but looking at the future. So this is the realization of the spheres, and with, of course, and this is, it was a church, the idea of the church with this, of course, all is working with the light. The light is the protagonist of the mise-en-scène, of the show, of the dramaturgy. Here is the fencing fight, and the white world in which life flows. This is the wedding scene of Romeo and Juliet. The Juliet and the finale. The symbolism is evident. Another challenge was Turandot at Teatro Regio di Torino. I have always a problem with Puccini because he's verista, so realistic, I don't know why, but... And my condition was to do Turandot without a finale. So, because it's Puccini's last opera, and for me not finished is infinite. So here we can see a trailer because it's easier to understand. Oh, sorry for that. This was the. So, Turandot, this is complicated to explain. It's much, much easier to watch and to see, and each one can and may understand what he wants. For example, the use of the body, of here the multiples are realized with nudity. For me, it's not nudity, it's never a sexual contest, but it represents the perfect abstraction of purity and human spirits. This is very important to understand because it's the opposite of the structure and of the mistake of the culture. For example, I remember all the day, this was my, in Tiziano, the sacred and profane love, no? Two allegories, which one is sacred love and which one is profane love? Fashion is always symbol of overstructured culture, and nudity is always perfect purity. So for me, the body is sacred, and for this reason, I use every possibility of expression of the opposite of this word is Turandot. Who is Turandot? Turandot, we are Turandot. Turandot is the wife, the man, the soul who cannot grow up, who doesn't accept the limitation of the life. So in this case, we don't have, here is ping pong pong, so from 3 we have not 1, which, and what is the idea of the, not 1 Turandot, but 1,000 Turandot? A lot of Turandot, and Calaf doesn't recognize, doesn't understand, just needs to find his own idea of Turandot. Turandot in the text, Puccini and deliberately says, Turandot non esiste, and this was genial because Turandot doesn't exist, and she's the multiple, an infinite woman. This picture represents the temptation of Calaf, so the contemporaneity, the idea of fashion, the opposite of the nudity. The finale was very impressive because Liu is overmatted of the multitude of Turandot, but at the very end, she will win and become inspiration for everyone. So she accepts the life, the limitation of the life, and leads everyone to a future of consensus. At the end, Turandot too is grown up, finally, and maybe Turandot and Liu are just symbols of different phases in the same human existence. This was the idea. And I stopped here with the deed of Puccini, without the finale of Alfano, and Here I put this picture of the backstage because my production are with a lot of people and a lot of work, and I think is perhaps most interesting the backstage than the than the stage, because the emotion is very intense, and all the people believe in this in the journey. Boris Godunov, it was another big challenge. This at Korean National Opera, because for me it was very, very important to reflect about the dichotomy between Russian world and Latin world. So it was a very big, in Korea, the stage is huge as in Beijing, and I tried to do a big installation of. This was the coronation scene with the boyards. And the idea, the obsession was the Orthodox world. So this Byzantine aesthetic the Russian work is represented by an art of matter dimension. Material is old, corroded, and gold as a Byzantine heritage, like this. So this was the stage, very simple, corroded bronze and gold. But what was important is the huge space and the work of the light. The contrast was with the underground world where policemen look for rebels. And the contrast with the Latin world. So this, thanks to the technical, fantastic system of the theater, that it was possible to make all at the view of the spectator. So Poland was in one for the mass power courts in Europe, and they also attended to cover Russian Catholicism. This is the final scene, the death of the Tsar Boris, obsessed by bloody nightmares, like a kid of Russian Macbeth. Time is also the obsession, and for this reason I did this enormous rotting clock on the floor. Here is not too much visible, but it was huge, and okay, this is l'Élysée d'Amore, Opéra nationale du Rhin à Strasbourg. C'est une I don't like talk in English, I'm sorry. But, so, Élysée d'Amore. For me, it was, I never, in my life, a comic opera. It was not. But in this case, I think, well, I can enjoy and can do something different, because if I listen at the music, it is like a dream for the last dream of the countryside. This is the last dream. And so I did. Okay. So, this opera is about finding your other half. And I talked about the idea of the poem, of the apple. But what was important is it was for me a bucolic word that today we have lost. All is made with vegetable, with green, with and this was possible for the fantastic atelier workshops of the theater. So the women are a parody of the haute couture, and but over-covered. The green invaded each space, and Belcore likes to play war, but is also a Latin lover. And what is funny is that his coat is made with the scalps of the women. Adina is obsessed with the fashion and with the Vogue and with the shoes, and Nemorino is not fashion addict. So he's invaded by grass, green, and insects. So here you can understand why it's not easy for the theaters and for me to work. Because I cannot work for the, how can I say, with repertory theater, because I need minimum 4-5 weeks to start to change the idea to the singers, to the dancers, to the technical, to all the people. So it's not possible to make revivals. And for this reason, each production is unique and different. I'm sorry. Here, the story. Nemorino, Dulcamara, and Elixir. Each one wants to be different. So the old women prefer be like, and the transformation is funny. And it's a parody about our epoch, our time. This idea of the fashion, but not as culture. And this was really a funny journey. Really surrealist. a big work with the costume workshops. 2 years of work here too. Now I don't explain the story. The story is really idiot. So it's not. But the music is really the last dream, and Adina and De Morino are transformed, and maybe they found their world. So this was very interesting work in Budapest, Otello. Difficult for me because, of course, the public expects always something traditional or modern, but and here the dialectic is between lights and shadows. So here is the maquette. All is about this big monument and the dichotomy between white and a white world of light and the world of Iago. This is the effect. So here we have the storm. We try to understand my inspiration where it's coming from Jericho, of course, and I always try to reproduce or to discover in the life the same. The costumes are very simple, all is painted, and the sculpture is minimum, but the challenge here was this big monument for the proportion of the stage. The children chorus, so the idea of the innocence of Desdemona, and the Venetian ambassadors. This is the finale. Faust is the opera that I did 3 or 4 times, and each time I need to make it again. And I can. So this is the project, the Kermesse. The idea of the set, it's really synthetic, because all start from the idea of the hamster is running in the, and so for me is the man, like the child on the at the try to do castle with the head, but the Z is coming and cancels everything. So the idea was that this discovering another world after the pure symbol of the ring, and all is working just with this ring, with a perfect technology, of course, but Faust is prisoner of time and of the idea of the time. All is really simple and really despoiled. The Kermesse is like a fashion red carpet. The intrusion, and these 2 big boxes, one white box, matter box, and a black one. The costume too are very simple, because they, for example, this with the man hat Gewalt, so hat man Recht. This is the end of the Act 2 with the waltz. And so it's clear how this ring is moving and is making all the situation. This is the garden of Margherita. This is the first present, this flower coat. And the second present, the jewels. The Swarovski Temptation. This is the quartet. This is the chorus of the soldiers. And here is not visible, but on the floor, all the most important moments of the book of Goethe are written with different calligraphy. This is the street and the deed of Valentine. The deed of Valentine. And directly from the street, I change it in the scene, and I go to the church. So the church was a disc, and the cross, the contrary, is coming from and turning, make this silhouette. Very, very easy system. And this is the end of the church. So this like a cover. The Act 5 is Walpurgisnacht. So it might be the most important moment for Goethe, but in the opera is not too much. So for me it was important to give with the ballet and with the scene, the idea of the homunculus. And this idea of cancel the body with the black, it was very, very strong and very difficult too, because, this is the work I do it with the dancer. My dancers are not dancers, are not actors. It's very difficult to, because I don't like dancer, I don't like actor, I don't like the category. So I need, of course, I need the technique, of course, but what for me is most important is tell the story. And the capacity of concentration, the capacity of creation, and to discover. So this is the formation of the prison of Margarita. With these ropes, it's very... And this is the finale, where this black space, another life, is after the tunnel. Well, we have a lot here, but now we try to go. Andrea Chenier, was a project for National Korea, Opera National Korea. And the second act, the French Revolution, the Court of Justice, and for the Act 3, the death of the mother. And this is, of course, the Maman of Louis. So for me, it was very important to remind to the symbol of the contemporary art, because the public of the opera is not, so it's like the child at the school. So it study mathematics, philosophy, and but they doesn't do the connection. So for me, it's very important to this contamination way. This is the word of the ancient world and the violence of the big change of the revolution. So the symbol is very evident. The Court of Justice. So you can see that the costume are all the, for example, the line is never philological, but I try to give a reference, and it takes a lot of time with the workshops, because at the very beginning I must do a lot of patterns of. It's a very long work. How to cut it and to try to. Well, the last one, and then we finish, because Thais, a title that for me was very important, and this is the. No, sorry. This was a revival in São Paulo. Perhaps it's a spiritual journey here, and we have a trailer, and so we finish with this. So I think it's okay. I have more than 200, I think, production. And it's very difficult to make a synthesis of this. And the best is to leave, to experiment, to test directly. With the video and the picture, it's really, really difficult. But the situation is like this, and I'm very thank you for your attention. I'm filming also. Thank you to you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation, Stefano. We got a glimpse into his total work of art. We got a glimpse of its aesthetics, of the process, a little bit of the inspiration, but I'm sure we want to know more. Questions from the audience. We're ready to take questions, right? Yes.
I cannot answer to me, but perhaps to somebody else. I try to give an answer.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I have a question. A lot of your scenography is mechanical. It moves around. And I think the first impression it gives is that it's very overwhelming. What's the first reaction you get from the producers or the people who are maybe funding the show? Do they get scared from the cost of the production? Because sometimes people tend to believe that mechanical things are instantly...
Yes, it's very complicated to explain it. For example, Faust it was a project of a lot of years, and to get to this system it was very complicated. I never say it, but I'm engineer. So my obsession is to make possible easy what not so easy is. But the most important challenge in the last year was the ring, of course, but the labyrinth is not because it's very difficult with the equilibrium. Yes, because you know the ancient system all was easier. Now in the theater all is mechanical, so it was very, very difficult, and the stability. So we of course I start from an idea and from the maquette, but the most important things are the technical design. And the problem is always the budget, always, because it's never enough. So for this reason, but this is the challenge. This is the challenge, because at the very beginning I start with a lot of ideas, and then I rest with just with the ring, and this is the challenge to adapt it and to do. What is easy for me, for example, is why I do costume, blah, blah, blah. So in the contract with the theater, say, well, yes, but how much is the budget? And then I decide how many dancers, how many, and for me this is a facility, I think. That for the Regi team, I don't know how it's going, but I think it's much more difficult, because if you think this is for costume, this is for dancer, this is, I will go crazy, because I didn't know. So for me it's very important to have the freedom to decide how to spend my budget. And this is a practical way that each year we must think about, because I started with a huge budget, and each year is with the crisis less and less and less. But I think it's perhaps destiny, and this is good so, because we need to find another way, not so structured, perhaps, and really what I need more and more and more is the light and the work with the soul. This is what I'm today most interested. But this is budget too, because the theater, this type of production are very expensive, and so the theater has no time to give you the stage, and for this reason I formed me with a lot of systems to make separately rehearsals, and then to make all together. And this is another facility, because if you work with a choreographer, or with, I don't know how you can tell, please make so, if you don't know the light, the space, the costumes. So I don't know if I answer to your, but...
We have another question here. We're here, Stefano, at the back.
Yes?
Yes, we have a question here.
Thank you. You said earlier in your presentation that light is dramaturgy. Could you explain a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Sorry, I didn't...
Earlier in your presentation, you said that light is dramaturgy.
Yes.
Could you explain that a little?
Yes, absolutely. No, it's dramaturgy. I think the light as dramaturgy is different. It's not light, perhaps for me. The light here is not possible to understand it. Perhaps with the complete video, but in the video is terrible. It's not. You cannot understand it. But for me, the light is everything. So it's going with the music, it's going with the soul, it's going with the emotion and with the story. So for me, light is not light. Is not to give light to the. No, the reality in my production is always difficult to recognize and to see well, because but the big work in my production, I have more or less more or 700 cues, and it's really a big work, and this is the problem too, because in the theater I have more or less 40 hours to do everything, and it's not enough. So I must to think all before, because of course I know where the people are and how they, and I make, and then I make the correction during the orchestral rehearsal. So it's, but for me the light is really the dramaturgy. The light is spirit, like the music. The music has no body, is not concrete, and just the light may and can follow at the music, not the set. So for this reason, I make set thinking at the light. I make costumes thinking at the light. I make movements thinking at the light. And the first day of the rehearsal, I say, listen, here is the light, and we work with the light. So the first at all. And the dancers are, yes, of course. No, of course no, because you must work with this, because this is the energy, you get the energy from the light. I don't know if I answer what your... No, thank you to you.
We have one more question down here.
Thank you for your talk. Your work is really incredible. How do you find your inspiration? Do you have some rituals or tradition to find your inspiration?
The inspiration, I think if I must be really honest, I think I always do the same. I must be honest. So, how can I say? I think the inspiration is what gives you the opportunity to discover your world, your lost world. All of us, we have a lost world. I don't know, from another life or for the, I don't know, of the sleeping life, or I don't know. This is my inspiration. In the case, what I do is, of course, listen at the music. You can ask, and the text, the opera is, the text is connection with the music, but first of all is the music, the emotion of the music, and the story. So I listen the music, and I wait to the click. I wait. Is not. Perhaps, for example, in the case of Ariana and Barbablue, I don't need a weight of the click, because it's what all the life I'm feeling is my story. It's not just a story. For Otello, so this is, and for me it's very important to respect the partiture, the text, and don't do just an oniric personal work. For me, what is very important, and this is the finality, I think, of my work, why I believe at the abstraction, because maybe a mirror for who is there. And you come to the theater, and now we have no more time, no more chance to discover, to listen at you. So the church are not working, the museum is so YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So the theater, I think, is the last possibility to reflect on your, and to find you. So I think for this reason, I believe in the abstraction, to give a mirror, of course, the Otello, but Turandot are you. You must recognize you with the story. Just in this way, the contemporaneity can, and of course, I don't say this is Turandot. No, it's an option, my option. No, for me too, for example, now I need to do another Faust. So nothing is definitive, but it's just a suggestion, a proposal. So the inspiration is not it's complicated.
We have one more question over here.
Thank you for your valuable sharings. And I would like to ask, because you mentioned in the presentation earlier that it sometimes takes you a long time to finish from coming up with the idea and to make it work. So how do you find your consistency in such a length of time? In the creating, from coming up with the idea to design the set,
yes,
or everything, to the finished stage?
For me, it's all together. I don't. It's really difficult to answer. I don't know, because is really, really difficult to say it. For this reason, I don't like say too many words, because the words are mistake. Each one can understand something different, and I believe that our time is very complicated, very, very complicated. And it's easier but difficult than the past. So for this reason, I try to make something that is over the time and make all together, because it's like the life. You cannot separate the dimensions. So it's try to discover an unity and a secret, a line.
We're gonna take the very last question here.
I am in awe of a scenographer who is a kind of a Richard Wagner, whose breadth of vision and unity is amazing. And I can see how all the different arts in the opera are subordinate to your vision, and how the singers must, to some extent, sacrifice themselves as actors to give up characterization,
No.
perhaps? No?
No, I think in my work, my dream, it's not easy, not, of course. Each year I try to make it easier, not for me, but for the people that are working with me. But for me, it's very important that the props must be understanding the dancers. For me, it's all together. This is my political. So this I detest. So for example, I must say, I make my work thanks to the opera theater, because they have a budget. But the opera theater, there are big situations with departments. So costume makers, set, props, over there they are direction, then come the singers, and each one is carrying with the singers, for example. So, is modern or is old or is traditional? So, this is for the most important is to understand this and to find what is unity. So, Opera ist Gesamtkunstwerk. Aber was heißt das? What is that? And the good energy is happening if all is easy. So if the singer sings easier, the dancer make dance easier, the technical make it easier, and so is. To arrive to this point, it's necessary to work. For this reason, it's not you come and you sing. No. But for this reason, my dream is a community where each production is coming with the same feeling, the same direction, and with the public. This is so less productions, perhaps, but much quality. It's not easy because the system is difficult, and I understand perfectly the problems.
Thank you.
No, thank you to you.
Stefano Poda, thank you so much.
Thank you for your attention.